Big up to all those in YouTube land. Chelsea defeat the champions at Stamford Bridge and we're in the cup final. Hey! Let's get to it. Big up to all those in you. Why steps he on the bottom by himself, like? Nah, I can't have that. I'm looking down now. I'm looking down. He's got a whole big screen to him. Hey, big up Prime as well in the building. Yeah, big up to all those in YouTube land. Hopefully everyone's doing great and good and all that. Just doing a quick bit of housework. Mel says, large up family. Oh, big up to you, Mel. JPT says, big up Miss Melina and the chat. Hope you're good. And DJ Crane in the building goes, oh, big up my Blues brothers. Miss Melina. Hopefully everyone is well and good. As you can see, we've got a normal panelist with us now. Stepsy's down there on the right-hand side somewhere. He may look a bit out of place, but he is a Blues brother, especially when he's not wearing blue. And big up Lanimus Prime. How you doing, my brother? If you can put FC25 down for a second.
No, I'm not playing FIFA. Hi guys, I'm good.
Big up, brother. All right, JPT, you good there?
Yeah, man, I'm good. We'll be on camera, but this computer is just fucking up.
First things first, can I just say, what a performance against Liverpool. It was a lot better than I think most people expected. Good result. I know Liverpool will say they made many changes and they didn't have half their team out. Well, guess what? We don't have that luxury. We don't get to put half our team out either, because a lot of people forget that we weren't playing people like Reece James and, Fofana. Lavia had to come off early because you said, but gives and takes. But I want to start off, JPT. What would you say about that result, bro? What's your thoughts on that performance?
I think that was one of our best performances this season especially versus the Big Six. Finally, this is our first time beating Liverpool during the Bully era, and what was I going to say? Actually, in any cup competitions too, because we seen how they played, and even though they said they did rotate their team with their youth. Sad enough to say, and a terrible reminder, but we lost to their younger squad in the Carabao Cup final.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, so we know that they're able to do the job, and you can't tell me that one didn't matter. I don't care how anyone feels about that competition, saying that that's a
cup final, man. It hurt.
Cup final. It's a cup. It's a cup. It's a cup. So, but yeah, I think we have one of our best performances. A lot of our, people who we were criticizing, Wolf. I remember you saying Colwell was a big worry for you because remember what happened last time. Giving away penalties to Salah. He played great. I didn't see that Colwell at all.
That was the best he's played all season, to be honest. Colwell. Mm-hmm. I'll ask everybody individually what they thought of him, but we'll get to him. Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, fine. I mean, everyone played good, maybe with the exception of Jackson. But yeah, happy with the win. I don't care if it was a meaningless game to Liverpool's fan base. Said oh yeah, who cares? We already won it. All right, cool. You got the guard of honor. We got the 3 points, so we'll see you in Champions League. Hopefully, still got some work to do this weekend. But yeah, overall, great performance, well deserved. And we move on to Newcastle next.
Prime, what did you think of the performance, bro? And then I'll ask Stepsy.
The performance wasn't surprising. I knew we'd put in a performance. The actual result, though, I didn't think we'd actually win because I thought Liverpool would actually. I thought we wouldn't take all of our chances, and Liverpool would find their way to get back into the game. But yeah, I'm happy that we've actually finally been able to beat them because we haven't beat them since.
Been a while.
We beat them once in 2021 on our way to winning the Champions League, and then before that, it was also a while as well. I think 2018. So yeah, I'm happy that we actually finally are able to get a result over the line against them. It was a brilliant performance. Caicedo, Lavia were brilliant. Enzo had a brilliant game.
Yes, he did.
Enzo's been brilliant this season, to be fair as well. And I'm someone who like I've never been his biggest fan, but I've always, when he's performed well this season, I have given him his flowers, and particularly when, like I keep saying, he has protection in midfield, he's allowed to really play his game. Palmer, to be fair, even played well, and I didn't even want to start Palmer in this game. I'd rather.
Palmer was back to his free role though. He was back to his Poch role, not his Enzo role, as I like to call them.
No, I don't think it's about the Poch or Enzo role. Palmer being poor this season is not because of Enzo, it's because of Palmer.
No, Palmer hasn't been poor all season. I just think the way Enzo's played him more centrally and
it's not because of Poch why Palmer. It's not because of Enzo why Palmer's been poor. Palmer's had more shots on goal this season than last season.
I never said Palmer was poor all the whole season. So yeah, all right.
I'm not talking about the whole season. I'm refuting what you're saying about the Enzo role. It's not his role in the team. It's him.
I never said about Enzo. I was about Palmer. but yeah, go on. Say what you were saying about Enzo then. Sorry, leave me to interrupt.
Palmer playing in the playing under Enzo, and I'm talking about how Palmer being poor is not because of Enzo Maresca.
All right, we can come to that another day. We'll just talk about on the game. He looked more all over the place to me.
But regardless, Cole also had a brilliant game. Again, I don't know what it is. Maybe who he was up against as a striker, but him and Chalobah both played very, very well. They actually that's the sort of performance where it's like it's not about like your ability. They actually fought for the team and fought for the badge, which I like, which I respect. Cucurella pocketed Salah, but again, that's not surprising. Cucurella's the best left back in the world right now.
To the shadow realm.
Jackson was Jackson. He did great things in terms of link up and whatever, but he was offside twice in the first half. We had a chance that I think we ended up scoring Madueke, but Jackson was offside. And then there was a chance in the second half where we broke against Liverpool on the counter where that could have been a goal as well if he wasn't off.
Jackson was offside. Yeah, you're talking when he was off by about 2 yards, and he ran too early. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Maresca, massive credit to him. The first sub was him taking off Jackson. He brought on he took off Jackson and he brought on Sancho and played Neto as a 9.
Yeah,
that was surprising because I would have assumed that he would have taken off one of Madueke. But the fact that he took, he actually took off Jackson, which was the right decision. But the fact that he took off Jackson was just good. I think it added a bit of another dimension to the game. And
Jackson was playing poorly, man. He deserves to be
game properly as well. I'm very happy with it. Even Sanchez didn't do anything to mess it up. So it's a shame we didn't keep a clean sheet or anything. It's a shame that we didn't score more goals because we probably should have. But it is people saying that we played Liverpool that were on the beach. Yeah, fine. But, they still have quality in their team. And if Salah didn't get pocketed, maybe Salah could have scored or created something and that could have made it 1-1. Then all of a sudden, people are still complaining. So I just think Chelsea fans, stop complaining for the sake of complaining. I've been saying that we'll still make Champions League football. I've been saying that we're going to go unbeaten on this run until the end of the season.
I ain't that cheeky. I ain't taking that much comfort. If that's what you believe, fair enough. But
I said
a lot different.
I said it before the Liverpool game. Newcastle, we'll beat Newcastle. That's not worrying.
I wish I was as confident as you about that.
I love it.
My worry is the United game. I don't think we're beating United. Just because we just haven't beaten them in so long. However,
today though.
But that game we also could have lost 4-3. I don't care about that game. I'll be honest. We haven't actually beaten.
All right, so you want a comprehensive victory against Man United, not just a scrape.
I want a proper win against them. Yeah, because we could have lost that game.
Fair enough. It was like a last minute gasp. Palmer scored 2 goals in a minute and a half. I do agree with you.
I don't like end-to-end basketball games. But Forest final game as well. They're dropping. We're gonna beat them. So,
that's never easy either. We'll talk about them in their appropriate times.
The way this team is like stepping up, Caicedo, Enzo, the way they've stepped up this season as leaders, they've kept going and fighting. Massive respect to them. Reece James again hasn't got injured this calendar year. People are not speaking about it because it's now just become the new norm. Cucurella, phenomenal. Caicedo, congratulations for winning Player of the Year. Tyreek George winning Young Player of the Year as well. Well deserved. He's someone who, when he was playing Conference League games earlier in the season, I wasn't impressed because I wanted him to actually start taking more risks as a forward, and he's been doing that since the second half of the season, and he's looked good. Again, I don't rate his talent highly, but in terms of application and dedication, that's there. So as a squad player, he definitely should stay. So this Liverpool game is massive confidence now. We're now in another final. People can say it's Conference League, but these guys haven't won anything.
We'll get onto the Conference League. That's the second part of the show.
I know. But my point being, just keep taking this confidence now going forward. The Newcastle game this weekend will be tough, yes, but we can beat Newcastle. The United game will be tough just because it's Man United, but take that confidence going forward. Go beat Newcastle. Go and beat Man United. Go beat Forest. Go win that final. End the season strong.
No, fair point. Stexy, what did you make of it? Sorry, JBT?
No, I was gonna say we can finish third if everything goes well.
Well, if we beat Newcastle and we lose all the remaining games, But I think the best thing we do right now is just watch ourselves. No one else. Just try and win every game we can. Focus on our hands.
It's in our hands.
Yeah. It's on our hands like ejaculation, you know. But the top. We'll get onto the Newcastle game in a bit, but yeah, that run is so tricky because it all depends on what version of Chelsea turn up, doesn't it? But Stepsy, what version of Chelsea did you see against Liverpool, bro? I want to hear your because you become like the unofficial third Blues brother here, like when it comes to like me, JPD, and the commentary core. So, your input's always welcome, brother.
What I thought was that we all know Liverpool won the title. Yeah, we all get that, but no team goes up to lose. You won the title, no team goes up to lose. So you decide to play the counter-attack while Liverpool tried to play the tic-tac football. So wherever they had the ball, you sort of sat back a little bit, but as soon as you won the ball, the transaction was so different. You counteracted. Even though you're at home, you played the counter-attack like you were away. It worked to your advantage because every time you got the ball, Liverpool had 2 or 3 players up for their tic-tac football, and you ran through them. So that's what I saw. I saw the counter-attack versus tic-tac and the Genga press that you played won the game.
It did.
For me, Colwell, one of the best games I've seen Colwell play for a long, long time. Him and Chalobah looked really comfortable for large parts of the game. Enzo turned up for a big game, which he's one of them people that if he's not really involved, he doesn't really perform. But in a big game, he steps up to the plate, which
he does.
For me,
took his goal well, didn't he? He took his goal really well. The way he controlled it and slid it in was really nice.
Yeah, well, he got to go more forward, like Bob said. He got to forward more because Caicedo done the mopping up, and Caicedo done really well in that hold on. I'd mind over man of the match if it was him, Enzo or Caicedo. I couldn't make up my mind. I was going to say
no. I got Chuck Lavia in there, man. Lavia was outstanding for 70 odd minutes.
I was more looking at how Liverpool were trying to play the midfield, and they weren't getting none of the midfield. They were trying to play out wide more than for the middle because the midfield was controlled by you. That's
it wasn't until the cup went off and Gravenberch and McAllister come on that the game they pivot. Their midfield took over a little bit because obviously ours had lost a bit of energy. Obviously, Lavia had gone out. A bit of defensive cover had lacked off.
But when they came in, you decided to change it back out wide. So because you change it up. If they because when the midfield got to go by them because of Graham Birch and McAllister, you play more out wide because you have the wide players out there. Palmer, I thought had a good game because he had 3 roles. Sort of, he was more involved in this game. When he's involved in the game, you see the best of Palmer. If he's not involved in the game, you don't see him. He needs to be involved. He needs to be played. He needs to be in a role where he sees more of the ball. If he sees more of the ball, you get the best out of him.
JK, if you're gonna come on and say something, bro, come on soonish, because me and JPT we're both looking to spend time with the wifeys tonight. So don't be too long if you can avoid it, brother, because we're only gonna go for about hour 15. So please, try your best, my brother. Sorry, Steps. I didn't mean to interrupt you, brother. Sorry, I apologize.
Like I said, you've seen the best out of Palmer. He needs to be more involved with the ball. I thought that's how I saw the best of Palmer, and he pressed well. Like when Jackson threw offsides, tried to get involved, couldn't do it. Sancho came on and sort of calmed the game down, made it more controlling for Chelsea when they were in a commanding position. So I thought a very well polished Chelsea playing the counter attack, which suited them better against a team that likes to play tiki-taka.
Yeah, you were right.
I thought the counter attack worked better than try and match them. You played the different.
What did I say to you? I think the week before when we did a watch along and you were doing, I can't remember what game you were watching when I was watching the Chelsea game. And I turned around and said to you, why doesn't this team often play, right? Instead of starting so stretched out, why don't they play behind the centre circle? And they did it. And I was just like, yes, we've got everyone back to defend. I know it's a bit like for nowadays, like for people's football taste, it's ugly because you don't like to see all 11 people in your own half. Like trying to defend, but I was like, that's what you need to do.
The way you pressed out, the quickness you had from transaction, from being defending to going forward, was brilliant. It was a lot more controlled, a lot more. Well, we can push forward now, and then Enzo was like, "Well, I can push forward because Casado's going to sit there," which he did. Them two worked in partnership very well for the first half, very well.
And can I just say, oh, hang on, who's that? There you go, there's JK. And he's just in time as well. Big up, JK. Let me ask you quickly, because you jumped on, obviously, because I've asked you to. But look, give me your take on the Liverpool, because you must be happy. For once, you must be happy at what you saw on Sunday, man.
Yeah, you know what? I'm actually impressed. I'm impressed with the team. I think it was a very professional performance. People can say, oh, you know, it's a drunk Liverpool team. You know what? You have to beat what's in front of you. And if it's a drunk Liverpool team, hopefully, surely the other teams will beat them in the next 3 games. And then they can win the league with the worst points tally. So, yeah. Anyways, the game was very good. I think we started off strong. As I said, the first goal was key. Because then that obviously can give us that boost of confidence. Do you know what I'm saying? The reason why I think this win was so important in the sense was because I think this team needs momentum going into Newcastle. Also going into the last 2 games, Man United and Forest. So yeah, I'm very happy with this win. I mean, I've always been complaining about the big games, this, that, and the other, but I think today showed, you know what, we can beat the big teams. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's all I needed to know. You know what I'm saying? So now let's just use this. Let's just use this win to kick on and actually finish top 4. Because fair enough, let's say we beat Newcastle. Bear in mind, Forest do have a game after us, so that's the Leicester game. So let's say Leicester put up a surprise result. All we need to do is just beat Man United, and we can literally be confirmed top 4. We really need to win the next Forest game. So top 4 would just be dead. But then also we need to keep an eye on Villa. We don't know how Villa's going to be doing as well. So yeah. And I'm happy at the moment. Quite happy at the moment. 3 wins in 3. Come on, let's keep going. So yeah, that's all.
No problem, man. I fully agree. For me, was that Wolfgang Division? You're doing a Champions League final watch along like last year. It depends if I'm working, bro. It really does depend. If I do one, it'll be an open one. Anyone can join as long as my StreamYard can fit you. Because I'm definitely doing obviously a Europa League conference final watch along if I can do it as well, because obviously we'll be in it. But Bargav, you got no shit. One thing I will say, I think a lot of people slept asleep on this, and I think this is PSG are not no joke team, bro. I know you must be pissed off because of Because Donnarumma, I don't know if anyone saw his save from Saka yesterday. Then that one, I actually thought that was going in. And the way he stretched out and punched that away, like it's like when Cech was in goal for us.
The arm just came out of nowhere. It was sailing, and then all we see is his arm just come out at full stretch. And I was like,
I tell you what, one thing I will say, I don't often stick my nose into Arsenal politics, but one player I will say I want to see shot in that Arsenal team for how disgracefully that guy. He was for me the one-shot man last night, and he vanished. Does anyone know who I'm talking about?
Odegaard.
Thank you very much, JPT.
Rumors say versus Odegaard in those first 3 minutes, I would think was just as, or if not more, impressive than Saka save. But since that, I was like, "Oh, this guy is a ghost."
Bro, he just disappeared.
He had that shot, and after that shot, he's a passenger.
Bro, I never heard it. I heard Saka. I heard Trossard's name. I heard Martinelli. What's happened to that? He was shit last night. Oh my God, what happened to that guy?
He's been a passenger.
But the strange thing is, though, PSG missed a penalty as well and still went on to win.
But and they hit the post. When they hit the post in the first half, I was sitting there next to my mate's cat. I was like, shit! And I was scared for cat. You know what I mean? But I have to say, one thing I will say about PSG's football, right? They took out Liverpool, they took out Villa, they took out Arsenal. Put respect on PSG's name because they went through some of the hardest teams in the Premier League and they beat most of them at home.
They've never won the Champions League. Inter no slouches, but PSG, I think it's their year.
Oh, and by the way, what a game with PSG and Inter last night. Barcelona. I thought that was going to be a streak, but no, they upped it. You know what I mean?
The Inter, people are writing off Inter. Inter's not. I don't think Inter's a team you should write off, in my opinion.
They're no slouches, mate. They're no slouches. They're no slouches.
Inter and PSG, I never wrote off, and I haven't written off, and I was talking about them weeks ago, and JPT is my witness because he knows the group chat I'm talking about.
In that final, what you're going to guarantee is that PSG are going to try and hurt Inter constantly. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, the thing I like about PSG, Wolfie, is that if you look at their players, they got technical ability almost everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
So fast,
the wings are very technically good. They're also very clinical. Kvaratskhelia, he's actually a baller. Ousmane Dembele is a very good footballer. Vitinha, João Neves, I think. Is that his name?
Yeah, Neves. João Neves. He tackled that guy made last night as well, João Neves. Big up to him.
Also, what you have to remember about PSG is that they don't have steel in that midfield. So all three of them have to work extra hard to make up for that, for one.
Exactly.
And two, 2 summers ago,
wait, JK, you're finishing.
UK was available. He was linked with us. Chelsea fans didn't want him. Now, this calendar year, because I remember the first 18 months at PSG, it wasn't looking good because it was about adapting to the system and bringing in players. But since January, PSG have turned it around and they've been sensational. So this is why I'm saying with Chelsea fans, like, if you want to play this type of attacking, positional play, fluid football, you do have to be patient with it. It took Pep a year at City. It took Klopp like 2-3 years at Klopp to perfect it. Enrique's taken 18 months. Like, if you're going to play this sort of way, you do have to be somewhat patient to be able to execute it. And also, you have to bring in the quality because Kvaratskhelia was available in January, and he's someone I wanted.
Just about to say that.
Like, he's phenomenal. Barcola, I don't rate him. I think he's a scrub. Dembele, I don't rate him highly either, but he has finally actually kicked into form this season.
Yeah, I think he's getting into that right moment now.
Now that he finally left Barca.
Because
and by the way, they have Luis Campos, and people keep talking about PSG are doing this youth project. But you know what PSG have? Their spine has experienced players. Donnarumma is a world-class goalkeeper, has been for years, and has been playing at the highest level for almost a decade now. Marquinhos, I don't rate him, but he is an experienced centre-back. Dembele is an experienced forward. He's won a World Cup. They've got you even have Fabian Ruiz's experience. They have an experienced
Fabian
spine
Ruiz
in their
is
team.
experienced.
His
Hakimi,
goal last night was vicious. He's got
so that allows their young players in João Neves, a Vitinha, a Due, a Pacho to be protected. Look how Pacho's quality. You have Nuno Mendes has pocketed
100%.
the two best right wingers in the world back to back in Salah and Saka. Pocketed them, not giving them a sniff.
Sorry, JK.
I don't rate their team all round, but the way Enrique has them set up is so drilled. So, like, they have a perfect balance of knowing how to be dogged and defend, but also giving freedom to express themselves. But you only get that freedom to express yourself once you perfect the system.
Yeah, Luis Enrique was my call for our next
You
picture.
have to go through the growing pains of perfecting the system, which is what fans don't understand. Because for 18 months, PSG were shit. They were shit.
All right.
Dembele in the first half of the season. Dembele in the first half of the season wasn't really playing.
Yeah, we know. Henry did picked up, but I want to let JK finish what he said.
And also, you have
Sorry, what?
Hey, 1 minute.
You have the Inter manager. He's someone I wanted.
Inzaghi.
Inzaghi. He's someone I wanted at Chelsea for years. The way he plays is phenomenal. The way he's taken Conte's Inter team and developed him massively, bro. Mkhitaryan's 36 years old playing in their midfield.
Exactly.
No one here is taking Mkhitaryan.
The thing is,
Dumfries is not that good of a wing back, but look what he's getting out of him. By the way, Cherby's 37 years old. You have Lautaro and Thuram. They're not that good of a forward. If people don't rate Jackson, you can't tell me you rate Thuram. He's not.
All right. We're going off topic. Now.
Especially.
No, like
I hear you saying, but we're going a bit off topic.
No, seriously, like Inzaghi, the thing is with Inzaghi, his football is not as pretty, but it's so unique in a way.
It's like
why he's crying. You know what I'm saying? Like it reminds you back in the days. You know when you played football, it was not all too pretty, but it just got you the win simple. You know what I'm saying?
JK, it reminds me of like 04-05 Chelsea. Just stubborn defensive.
That's what I keep saying.
What they did to Barcelona, these two legs, I didn't think this Inter team were capable of. They went machine for machine and won. I didn't think they could do that.
I preached in there a couple of weeks ago.
It remind me of a team.
Wait, you guys. When I think people are trying to doubt our Inter, it's not. Listen, when people are trying to talk about Inter, nah, you know what I'm saying. And I keep saying this when you look at finals.
2 seasons ago, so it shouldn't be too much of a surprise.
No, but Wolfie, when I talk to you about cup finals, the team that wins it most of the times, as we've seen, is the one that don't have to play this pretty football. You know what I'm saying? They just do it simply. You know what I'm saying? Inzaghi way.
They wanted more.
They can get a goal out of nothing. They're very good at set pieces. That's another thing. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Those are the ones I love. It just
They can stink out a win. They can beat you on set pieces. They can press you high. They can play you off the park. They can go machine for machine in terms of goals. They can do everything tactically.
I know.
They've got experienced players. They've got match winners. Like it's disgusting how they play.
Yeah, right. See, Scott, say what you're gonna say, then we're gonna move on to the Newcastle game.
I mean, I've seen him play a couple of this season in Syria, and the way they play, it's not about the quality they've got. They just find a way to win, and that's what's good about it now. They find a way.
Yeah, they do. But that's why I called it.
They've been down a couple of games in Syria. They've been down, and they change the system a little bit, and they find a way to get back into it. And that is good. That is good play from Inzaghi, changing the system every now and then, tinkering with it a little bit, and they find a way to win. And that's what in this final. They found a way to beat Barca in extra time, and they found a way to win.
Well, that was the thing. That's what Prime was putting. They went toe to toe and won. So there you go.
Which means they found a way to win. They've done the way to find a way
to win, but also with players in that squad that they don't rate, bro. If Chelsea had 36-year-old Mkhitaryan, a Finnish Çalhanoğlu, Dumfries at wing back, we would be flipping, blowing a gasket, bro. These players are not quality.
But them players, he gets the best out of them players because he's a good manager. He is a good manager and gets the best out of the players.
Bro, he's the best manager in the world.
If they were Chelsea, they wouldn't perform because Enzo ain't the right manager. They've got the right manager there. He gets the best out of them.
Wait, hang on. I think
why I say the sporting directors need to get me a better manager.
I'm not going to talk directors.
He's going to get the best out of Dumfries or them. They've got a good manager there, and they get the best out of them.
Right. Well, look. Well, Enzo. Well, there's a different.
Senior management is better than.
Wait. Different styles of management, because one thing Enzo always stated was he was going to try and implement his system early. What you're seeing is a manager that's trying to implement players to a system, and a manager that's implementing system to the players, which meaning is he's using what he's got in the best available way, where Mascala is probably not using what he can in the best way, but in the way he wants, so the team's foundations are laid. They're different styles. Like Stepsy, and arguably what Prime was leaning towards, I prefer the Inzaghi style. Yes, and what JK said as well. It's not pretty on the eyes, but fuck me, when you win, you don't care, do you? So
it's not even just that. Enrique doesn't play the way Inzaghi plays. But my point is, they're both world-class managers, and that's why when people talk about Maresca, I go back to the sporting director. Get me better.
It might be even similar to that. It might be even similar to that. It might be even similar.
I mean, Barley was there, so
it might be similar to this. Like, think about it another way. That Inzaghi's got better players than Chelsea have, and not saying they're better, just saying that they've got better players than Chelsea have, and they can implement their style better than Chelsea can because they've got the better players to do it.
That's very true.
Or experienced players to do it.
Yeah, they've been there for longer. They are ex-finalists.
That experience would be better. Experience.
Tarami's been there for a while. They've got a play. They've had a team that's been there for a couple of years.
It's working. They've been there before.
But Inzaghi's got them there, though. He got them to the last final years.
I know.
If they're experienced, they can adapt. They can adapt.
Exactly.
They're world-class players that can adapt to different systems.
Bro, JBT just said about Onana. I was telling people 2 years ago, Onana's not good. I've been telling people for years, Onana's not good.
That's true.
All right, we'll put Man United. We'll leave them for another time because I hear what you're saying. It's the tactics. What Prime's getting at. The fact is, it protected Onana better than what. Let's face it. No one gets protection at United. Even their contract would split. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's just no protection whatsoever.
Chalobah and Cole were brilliant against Liverpool. But you know what helps, by the way? Having a defensive midfielder in the team. No one keeps saying Caicedo, as brilliant as Caicedo is, he's not a DM. Lavia
I thought he done well. He mopped up pretty well against the
Lavia heavily protected our Chalobah and Cole and allowed them to actually play well, which allowed Enzo to then have that freedom and for Caicedo to invert.
Well,
we can also see how big that's why I have faith. Not even faith. I know we're beating Liverpool this weekend. But Lavia and this team, they're not gonna have Joelinton. We're just gonna outmuscle their midfield and run through. Joelinton out for the Newcastle game.
Oh, wait, hang on. JPT, did you send Deals the link? Can you send Deals the link for me? Because I have to exit the stage and come out of it.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I got you.
Please, Deals, I'm gonna get, because obviously I got my PC set up right now. JPT will send you the link, okay? Because I can't exit right now because it will crash everything. I'm on my phone.
Can I just say something quick?
Of course, JK. Fire away.
Okay. Wait, hang on.
All right, go fire away.
What?
Well, yeah, but I agree with what Prime and Stepsy were both alluding to. It's different styles, different strokes for different folks. And yes, I definitely agree with Stepsy when he says their squad's better than ours. 100%. 100%.
I don't mean disrespectfully. I'm just saying the experience.
It's true. it's not meant. I know you don't mean it. It's a fact, bro. I've spoken with you enough to know like that you're not malice.
Yo, guys, I'm back. So
Yeah.
this is what I'm
You
saying
got a
about
manager
Lavia.
that's elite, and they got a sporting director, and then knows what it takes or what the players to get. And both of them we could have had. That's what hurts the most about PSG making in the final.
There's a lot.
We were looking at Campos. We were looking at Enrique.
Well, the thing is, this is what I said to you, JPT, at that transfer window show. How much of a missed opportunity we look back on this as? Do you remember when we didn't get...
We signed Borat in the window.
Just on that, JPT, on that, just what you said, would you say you haven't got the right sporting director in your club then? To get the players in?
No.
Well, the sporting director... Are you saying, like, do we need to replace them?
Do you need a better sporting director that can attract these players to come to a club instead of going somewhere else?
Well, yeah. Well, we also gotta be put in a situation because they're just following what the owners want, what Igbali and Bowley want to bring into the club.
Doing
a great job.
What I've been saying.
So would you say Bowley's controlling the sporting director when the sporting director should be controlling what he's doing?
Wait, Stepsy, the thing is,
Everyone should have the freedom.
when we've been doing these streams,
At the end of the day, I've always said this. The owner should have an input, but the sport director should have the last input because he's the person that does the job to bring the players and attract the players to come to the club.
Exactly.
But obviously,
your job is to hire the right personnel and then let them do their job.
Yeah, exactly. But obviously, Bowley ain't doing that. So you need someone, a football director, who's strong enough to go, hold on a minute, I'll make the decision, you put the money up, I'll get him in.
But that's what Prime's been saying. Nothing's going to change because the owners they're the ones who are saying they're doing a great job. No one else is doing this. Sorry, Jake, go ahead.
Yeah, this is why I say every stream, the project, if you want to laugh, you can, but the project has the potential to work. The Young Kids project has the potential to work. As I said, Prime said, look at PSG. Look at the way Barcelona have done theirs as well. When they started off with Pedri, it's about getting the right recruitment.
JK.
Do you know what I'm saying? And also look at the ownership. Remember the other example. Deals. Remember the other example that I gave was Liverpool. Liverpool did not have good owners at all. Do you know what I'm saying? What gets them through the mud is the recruitment of Michael Edwards. Do you know what I'm saying? The way they were recruiting from Mo Salah, Van Dijk, you can even name many. Do you know what I'm saying? You don't know how good.
They work for the up down then. They work for the top.
I disagree, by the way, with Liverpool's owners being good. I disagree with that.
But hang on, just let JK make his point because bless him for the last 5 minutes. Go on, JK.
What was going on?
No, you were saying about the Liverpool.
Shoot.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, on a financial standpoint, the owners don't really pump as much money into Liverpool as obviously the fans will complain. They don't get a lot of money to spend. Do you know what I'm saying? But then when they get that money, you have you have a top recruiter that spends the money well on these sort of players. You know what I'm saying? So a good recruitment team is very, very important, no matter how you look at it or not. It doesn't even matter. So yeah.
Go on,
so
Dill.
I say the biggest problem is our board.
Yes, we've all included.
So you're saying a good recruitment, yeah, perfect. Yeah, you need a good recruitment. That is perfectly right. But to attract them players, you need the best sporting director to work with the recruitment service to get the best players into your club.
The organisation behind the scenes.
So it works for the top. It works for the top down to the squad.
It does. And that's what me, JPT, Prime, yourself, Stepsy, JK, and Deals have all been talking about for about 6 months. Since Christmas plus. So I can hand on heart say that's true. But unfortunately, they've got 50% right, 50% wrong. Because I'm not being funny. It's not just the fact of the players that they did sign or didn't sign. It's the players they could, like JPT said, earlier. It's the players they could have signed. We could have got Osherman at the
What is that? Well, because we got the right sporting director. That's what I said to him when he said we got the right players. I said,
even when you can touch the right players, to sign. You know what I mean?
It's one director, and like JK says, it's one director, and JK pointed out and pointed as well. It's a recruitment as well. Them foundations need to work together to get the players in that you want. But like you said, 50% right, 50% wrong.
Deals, what was you going to say, my brother? Big up to you.
Yeah, big up Deals. Sorry, buddy.
What do you think of the Liverpool?
Are you listening, man? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm listening, fam.
I see what you lot are talking about, the sporting directors, yeah. But at the same time, yeah, you got to look at the owners as well, because at the same time, the owners they do want a certain a way of the way they want to buy as well,
Mm.
and they do have a choice as well. So, like, it's not just on the directors' decision making. It's both in both ways. It's in all ways that the structure. If the
I
structure
didn't say
changes,
I didn't say to have input. I'm just saying that they're there to put the money as well. Yeah,
Well,
okay.
I
They're there
agree
to do input.
with what you said, Steps. He's not disagreeing with you. He's
No, it's
actually
just
built.
everyone's got to work as a cog. It's like they're missing a cog in the wheel to make it spin properly. It's just
Yeah,
one cog.
exactly. If you got three wheels going one way and another one going the other, you've got a problem.
Yeah, or you're missing one. It ain't going to work. So somewhere along the line, there's some miscommunication somewhere in that board that ain't making the right decisions to bring the right players into the squad.
my issue
There's
is,
something
yeah,
missing. There's something missing. I don't know what it is,
it's
but
not.
there's
No,
something
no, no.
missing.
My issue is, yeah. My issue is it's not all the players. Every players that we got, yeah. Some of the players that we got in terms of Palmer, in terms of Labia, in terms of Casado, I don't mind them type of signings because I know it's quality that's coming in, right? But when we're buying like a Okachuku or a Guri, like what are we trying to build there? Like I don't understand it. You know what I mean? I don't. It's not. It's not for now. We need players for now. We need players that are gonna come in and hit the ground running now. Not
Well, that's
not
a
for
great.
later.
You have to ask the board that. You have to ask them that. We have no idea what they're trying to build there. That's a $1 million question, isn't it? What are they
And
trying to do?
Deals. Even Maresca is even saying that he wants experience. He's asking for experienced players to come to Chelsea. So
We all
if
know. We all know
everyone's
what's
looking
gonna
at the
happen this
directors
summer.
now to
Yeah,
be like,
but
are you
like,
going to
like
deal
I
with
was
Chelsea
saying,
the back
we went for
No,
manager?
no, no.
the players.
We all know. Let's not play stupid. We all know what's gonna happen this summer,
Yeah, I know it's
right?
going to happen.
Joe Shields is definitely looking at them three Man City ex academy players, Rogers, Gittins, and Delap. It's bound to happen. It's bound to happen, right? And do you think three of them players are worthy to play for Chelsea Football Club? Yes or no?
Did that probably the rest? No.
The lap is they're going to get that over the line. Do I want him to join? Only if he's part of we get either an Osimhen or Gyökeres, but not our main striker. No.
Dilap, what I'd have in Chelsea for one reason, because the simple reason is he is Premiership ready now. So he's had experience at Man City being the reserve. He's run the Ipswich as a main player for Ipswich. He's had that experience in Premiership now. He can come. The rest of them, not so sure.
I mean, so you're saying Delap because he's Premier experience with Ipswich?
Yeah, because he's ready. He's Premiership ready now. He's there.
I mean, you can see
I think many clubs
had minutes, but he was shit.
Yeah, but I think many. Yeah, but hold on. You got to remember this: Chelsea and Ipswich. Chelsea will be able to feed him. Ipswich not so much.
Right.
You got to put a player of his quality. You got to put a player of his quality in a team that can give him the service. It's like any club. You can put a striker in there.
He will go. He needs to go.
You but no, it doesn't matter who it is. You can go Chris. All right, go Chris. Go Chris. Great, go Chris. Great in the championship for Coventry.
Listen.
All right, one at a time.
Go Chris. Great. No.
Wait. Let Steps you finish, then you can say what you need to say.
Go Chris, right? Yeah, go. I agree with Go Chris. Go Chris was great in the championship. Yeah, for Coventry because of the championship. He went to Sporting and scoring great goals. Yeah, because they've got the service there at Sporting. He comes to Chelsea. He has service. Delap is exactly the same. Delap is championship ready because he's had a season. You give him the service, he'll score. It's any good striker you put in a squad that can give him the service will score goals.
Exactly.
But it's bringing the right players in to give him that service. You've got the players there. It's just you need one or two more players, the creative players, that can give him the service. But you've got to attract these players. Mm-hmm. And that's up to the recruitment team and the sporting director and the owner to get together and go, put their heads together and go, hold on.
See, one thing you've missed. Winning trophies. And I'm going to get onto that in a minute.
Okay, yeah, maybe. But I'm just saying at the moment, you need to put their heads together. Recruitment service, like AK said, management team, like I said, and Prime said, all of us, they need to put their heads together and go, right, we need a type of player. What money do we need? And how can
Yeah,
you
yeah.
attract them? Yeah, trophies is a good one, but
Yeah,
top four, you
yeah.
get top four, it will get players in because you're playing Champions League football.
I get that.
That's 100% correct, but that's not the
Fourth,
first thing
fourth is important. Fourth is important. If you get fourth or third, like you were pointing out, that will bring players in.
Listen. If we beat Newcastle on Sunday, yeah, I can definitely see us pushing for 400%.
Right, hang
Yeah,
on, right.
if you get fourth or higher, you'll get the players in because it's Champions League
If we
football.
don't beat Newcastle,
Everyone slow down a bit.
if
Right.
we don't beat Newcastle, I can't see us getting 400%.
Right, now on the Newcastle game, right, because that was the next part of the conversation. How confident are we all now from this? If he plays the same team with Lavia in it against Newcastle, and another one I want to quickly ask everybody about as well, right? Is Madueke worth starting as well? Because what does everybody think of how he played against Liverpool? Because I actually liked him against Liverpool. He was direct and threatening. What did everyone make about him as well? Because obvious and you could say that one obvious.
For me, he done some bright sparks, but he weren't in it enough. He threatened when he had it, but he weren't in it enough.
So he was involved.
He should have been, because like you said, he was a threat.
No.
Yeah, he was.
Noni deserves to start 100%.
But he wasn't in it enough.
Noni and
Today showed you who was going to play this weekend.
Hey Wolfie, you know who deserves to start? Noni and Sancho, Noni and Neto deserve to start because their pressing is different from Sancho. Sancho's not
I
going to
don't
press
know.
like
Neto
Neto.
puts a lot of work in.
Sancho doesn't press like Neto, bro. Because Neto's got the pace. Sancho hasn't got pace, bro. He hasn't got pace. He's good technically, but it depends on the opposition who you're going to play against. Is Sancho going to open up the width? No, I don't see it. Against them fullbacks. Against them fullbacks that Newcastle have, I don't see it with Sancho.
Who's going to
You
go
got to remember, Newcastle also going for
Neto and Noni will open up the width on that wing. I'm telling you that right now. They will do it.
You got to remember, Liverpool won the championship, yeah? Newcastle is still going for that top four as well. So they're going to be different opposition than Liverpool are.
That's true. That's another thing, Stepsy. I was actually going to bring that up in a minute, but Stepsy just brought it out now. Sorry, JPT, you were saying as well?
Sorry, JPT.
No, it's fine. I was just going to say, after today's game, I think we kind of have an idea of who we're expecting to start. Like, as you know, Deals was mentioning, Noni, he deserves minutes. He didn't get any playing time today. Neither did Neto. Caicedo was saved. Same with Lavia, and I think Enzo Fernandez. So we know they're going to be in. So I think, and that's the thing that was kind of worries me about this weekend is because Newcastle knows like the 11 we're going to go with because of who we played today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be same.
I think you're going to have to be patient against Newcastle. You're going to have to let them have the rub of the green first, and then find your feet because
I agree with Fernando, where he said that Joe Linton's going to be out for Newcastle.
He's out. Same with Hull.
I think that leads into our hands because the midfield. I watched Newcastle against Brighton the other day, and they didn't look that impressive, right in the midfield.
What if there's no Lavia though?
You have to wait for that.
Who are they going to play? What? Walcott? What's his name? Wilcock? What's his name?
Willock.
Willock. That's
it.
Willock. Yeah, that's
Joe
it.
Willock.
Yeah, Joe Willock. They're going to play Joe Willock there with Bruno Camara and Tonelli. That don't threaten me. Yeah, that does not threaten me. Right? If Caicedo and Lavia and Enzo are all in the midfield, I think they deal with that midfield.
But we got
one more thing for me, because Wolfie brings up all the time. You best not start slow against Newcastle, though.
What's that?
You best not start slow against Newcastle. Because you said Chelsea start slow. If they do what they did against Liverpool, start out strong. If they do what they did against Liverpool, they will be on top. They can't start slow. They need to be on top like they were against Liverpool.
They're also very good in transition.
Like, well, the thing is, a lot of Chelsea fans will say, "Why do we will play better second half than the?"
We will control the game how we want. Yeah, I'm telling you that right now. We will control the game how we want.
So,
Oh, you do, because you can't start slow. If you start quick, you'll be on top. If you start slow, because you've done many times this season, as Wolford tell you, if you start slow, they'll be on top.
Well, that's the thing, and it depends what kind of Chelsea team turn up. This is what I said earlier, because it could be, Liverpool, where we played Liverpool, and it could have, the fact that they did make a lot of changes could shadow the result a little bit, but there weren't that many changes. And the thing is, it depends if we set up the same way, because as far as I know, Lavia's never started a back-to-back game for Chelsea, has he?
No, I can remember.
Because from and this is the other question I want to put to everyone, right? Because if we're agreeing that Newcastle, we should set up for them the same way we set up Liverpool. Lavia, Cancelo inverting, Cucurella invert when he needs to, Chalobah, Colwell behind them. I would prefer away at Newcastle. I would prefer tossing to Colwell, personally, because I know I may get jumped on for this. Away from home, I don't trust Livy Colwell. I really don't. So I'd rather Adebayor there, but maybe he will be there. He won't be, but I'm guessing it'll be obviously Cancelo on the right, Cucurella on the left, Chalobah and Colwell, Sanchez behind them. You're gonna have Enzo and Lavia in the midfield. You'll have Palmer, Jackson, Madueke, Neto. Yeah, do we all not agree with that?
You're fine with that, but I'm not worried who you start with, because anyone can fill their positions, like you said.
But hang on, if this becomes the blueprint, and Chelsea's going to go forward.
If you're always home, you've got to start quick.
Yeah, but true. But if but on the lineup, the performance. We'll see what happens. But on the line,
fine. Like you said, you can.
Wait. You don't know what I'm going to say about the lineup yet, because
I watched Newcastle on the weekend, yeah, and I'm telling you this right now.
It's one game.
Newcastle do not threaten me, bro. They do
not.
Yeah,
that's one game. They've been threatening. Yeah, that's one game. Don't go on that.
Let me actually put the question out there, and it could be a group discussion. It doesn't have to be anyone individually. If this is how Chelsea are going to go forward now in this format, right? What does that mean for Reece James? Is it time to move him on? That's an interesting dilemma, don't you?
You done without him on Sunday. You done well without him. He came on for the last 5 minutes. Right,
so. Let me go through one. So, Stepsy, give your opinion. Reece James, sell him or keep him?
Sell.
Prime, sell him or keep him?
Who are you talking about?
Reece James. Sell him or keep him?
Why do we sell him?
Oh, you have to listen to the conversation, obviously.
No, he's not been listening.
No, he's not been listening.
I'm listening. Why would we sell him?
No, I'm saying if this... No, okay, let me repeat the question. If the Liverpool result we had at the weekend is the blueprint going forward, and can say that...
I know what your conversation is.
Does that mean if this is the blueprint... Let me finish. Just 2 seconds. If that's the blueprint going forward, what does it mean for Reece James? Do we sell him or keep him?
I know what you guys are talking about. You're not listening to me. My response to you is, why would we sell him?
That's what he's asking. Why would you sell him? Why would you?
Just a simple question.
No reason to sell him.
All right, so you'd keep
the question.
Yeah,
it is right. JK is right.
Bro, we can't even trust Lavia to play 2 games in a row. Why would we sell Reece for 1? And 2, just because Reece didn't play against Liverpool doesn't mean all of a sudden, he's never going to get back into the team. It's a squad game. You need a squad. You need a squad.
Also sell him because he's better out there.
No one said we should sell Reece James though. That's the thing.
No, I'm asking everybody. I'm not saying anyone should. It's an opinion. That's it.
I let you all without interrupting. Can you guys not talk over me and actually listen to what I'm trying to say? I'm not saying you guys said it. Listen, take your feelings out of this.
No, I said that to JK, not you.
I'm talking to all of you guys, so it's fine. There's no reason to selling Reece James shouldn't be a question.
Yeah, you said you were going to keep. You're fine. Right? That was it. That was what it was.
Okay.
But we're just going 1 by 1. That's all we're doing.
I know what you guys are doing, but stop interrupting me.
No,
I know.
Interrupting you.
You are interrupting me. I'm speaking.
Yeah, because I'm just letting you know, because you're just trying to get angry.
I know what you're doing. I'm answering the question that was asked.
What happened?
I'm giving a response. And you guys are interrupting me and saying no one said sell him. I didn't say you said sell him. So can I speak?
All right, carry on.
Thank you.
We're waiting.
Okay. There's no reason. Okay. There's no reason to sell Reece James at all. No reason to get rid. Just because he didn't play against Liverpool. Again, it's not that big of a deal. You need a quality squad to compete and to win, right? And also, Lavia can't even be trusted to stay fit anyway. For me, until proven otherwise, Lavia is not a first choice starter for me. Just like Reece, before the turn of the year, I was saying with Reece, he needs to prove to me that he can stay fit. I said it last season. He needs to prove to me he can stay fit before I even think that he's a starting player for Chelsea. Reece has been proving now that he can stay fit and he can be relied upon. Lavia can't. Lavia starting just suited the Liverpool game. Lavia starting also suits the game against Newcastle at the weekend. However, knowing what he's like, maybe he's not even fit to play that game. Or even if he is fit to play that game, maybe like Reece might still end up playing anyway, and say Enzo comes out of the team, like, or who knows, like, but you need a squad anyway to like really like challenge and compete at the highest level. That's something that Arsenal don't have, by the way, which is why they complain whenever they have one injury. I don't want to do an actual squad. When Chelsea have won league titles, it's when we've had an actual squad to actually compete. So you can take out a player in and out here and there, but still remain strong. And that's what I want Chelsea to have.
They might say this as well.
Go on, deals. Then JK and
my logic is, like just Prime just said there, if we're gonna be in the Champions League next season, which is most likely, we're gonna need depth. We're gonna need depth for competition. You know what I mean? In the squad. You know what I mean? Quality in the squad. Now, if that is the case, like, I don't feel like we should sell Reece James because he's still got the quality in him. He may not be the same player that he once was, which we all know that he wasn't the same player. Let's say like 2 years ago, he was in his prime. He was in his class. You know what I mean? So he's not the same player as he was, but I would keep him 100% because he knows our club. You know what I mean? We're gonna need to keep him. You know what I mean? But another thing as well, what I was gonna say is that for all we know, like, we might be looking at a right back in the summer. Like, you never know. And Maresca might change Reece James to be a midfielder for full time. He might be a midfielder for full time.
Good point, Jim. Where does
or he might use Gusto and Chimpong as a right backs, and use James as a midfielder. You know what I mean? He'd be the midfielder cover now. You know what I mean? That's what he's looking at now. Because I don't see James going back to the right back. I don't see it. No. And let me speak on this one, because if he goes back to right back, he might get the similar injuries that he was getting before. You know what I mean?
Okay, but where does he fit in the midfield? Who do you take out?
Bro, he, like Prime just said, Gabriel's injury all the time. You know what I mean? So is Reece, but Reece is gonna be like a midfielder competition there. You know what I mean? I'd rather him be in a midfield competition than be in the right back.
On the lighter side, I think we can say Reece James, whoever plays.
No, I'm only saying this here because of Chimpong and Gusto. We've got a Chimpong and Gusto who can play in the right back position. So I'm not worried. I will put James in the midfield cover to be midfield cover. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. And JK, what's your feelings on it, bro?
No, we should keep him. It's important that Chelsea keeps his experienced heads here. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, JK, I wanted to say something. I heard there's a rumor on the street, that Maresca wants to play 2 10s next season. I don't know how true it is. I don't know how. He has a imaginary to play 2 10s next season.
Well, see who we sign in the window, man. But I'm not spinning off into another tantrum about the 210s that will possibly be there next season. We've already got 210s that we can't play together
By the
already.
way, but either way, let's just let the season end and we see what happens next season. But
Yeah.
but my thoughts are just Reece James should stay. He's experienced. He's one of the core that we need to guide this young team forward, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's done it at the highest level, and he's the only one we have there. And if we sell him, the same Chelsea fans will be crying for, oh, why have we let our experienced guys go? You know what I'm saying? But anyways, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I think Prime mentioned it and Deals mentioned it. I think it's the fitness issue. Right. So because me personally, I agree with all of you. Like in terms of if he can stay fit, yeah, we got still potentially a world class player there. But Devil's Advocate says if he can't, does he go, or do we
if
just
he can't, make sure you get the adequate replacement for him, and that is where the board comes in again. Yeah.
All right, JPT, can you hear me? Because I know you switched up.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. What's your feelings on it, brother? What do you think, man? Reece James, keep or sell?
Now keep. I mean, I know like
Fucking hell.
I even said before that he's if he picks another long-term injury like a 3 month or half a season injury, it's like, well, maybe we should have to sell this guy because we can't just keep waiting for him to come back and play a small bit of the season, hoping that we collect as many points as possible. But I mean, right now, as as Prime was mentioning, yeah, but he's been staying healthy, luckily, and no red cards. So it looks like this is being kept under control. He's getting as many minutes as possible, and I don't even know what triggered the last injury he had before the end of 2024. But right now, just hopefully that he carries on. Same with Lavia, and yeah, because this guy can be a world-class right back or fullback in general, if he can stay healthy. I mean, and as far as for the replacement, we were already saying that Gusto was supposed to be the replacement because he had a hell of a season last year, but now he's like looking like a shadow of himself.
JP.
Yeah, go ahead.
Deals, can you hear you?
You hear me, JP? You hear me, J?
Yeah, well, JPT, can you hear Deals? Yeah, he said yeah.
You see, with Reece, yeah, we need to see him more as a midfielder now. He's not a
Oh,
right back.
fucking no chance.
That's what Maresca is seeing him as at our club. Like whether we like it or not, he's not a right back no more, bro.
Yeah,
Well,
fucking midfield either.
Well, before we can think about positioning, we can think about fitness. Because if you can't get onto the pitch, it doesn't matter which position you play.
Well, that's his position now, bro. He ain't a right back no more.
Yeah,
Well,
fucking
fine.
midfield either.
Well, no offense. If he can do a job there, because I know Reece James actually was for Wigan. He played as a DM.
Right, but he should be playing as a rep, and I think that's what Stepsy was even asking, right? Was it?
Oh no, I agree with you. His better position for me would be right back because of his attacking prowess. But like Deals also mentioned, can his body take it anymore? And JK alluded to it.
Yeah,
Can his body take it anymore?
he can't play playing as a right back no more, bro. And that, again, at the same time, when it depends on what certain manager he's playing it under.
Fucking shit, he's not a
Well,
midfielder.
Tuchel still plays him as a right back, and he looked right for England the other day and he scored.
Yeah, but again, at the same time, though, Wolfie, look how many times he was injured under Tuchel. Look how many times he was injured under Tuchel being a right back.
True,
You know what I mean?
true. But anyway, we'll leave that.
I mean, that's just an excuse to keep him.
Yeah, Wolfie, I know you have to go, but funny enough, on Dill's point, I actually hear it. I mean, he's not an inverted right back because the thing is, the reason why he's been playing at these sort of roles, sometimes I've actually seen him play as the third centre back. It's because what he used to do back then, he can't do it no more. He's been, when he was overlapping and scoring this, that, and the other. We tried it before, even under Poch, they tried to do that with Reece James. But then he was getting injured, constantly getting injured. You know what I'm saying? I feel like all of these injuries has set him back in what he used to be. Hence why he's playing these more simple, advanced roles in midfield. Sometimes
Yeah,
the third
that's what
centre
people
back.
saying, but his
You know
body
what I'm
can't
saying?
take the bombing role
His
anymore.
body can't take it.
Well,
And also, I don't know if you remember,
midfield's physical.
Stepsy, I don't know if you remember, But I also think his body mass as well. His body mass. People have spoken about it. His body mass is gotten a bit larger. So he can't really do all of these things a lot. You know what I'm saying? And if he
It
does,
was
you're
fine.
going
You
to
need
risk.
I
acrobatic.
just don't understand who you get if you win
He's a heavy
midfield. I don't know
guy.
who you get to take out from midfield. And plus, this was very, very physical. Very physical.
I hear that. There's pros and cons to each role. So but both can be physical, but one's more physical in terms of your shoulders and your back, and one's more like to your hamstrings.
I think it's better up there.
Well, that's what we will agree, that we all prefer him as a right back. But like we said, is he being played as a central midfielder to preserve him? Is he being played as not as a right back because he doesn't?
Who's the midfield for him?
Well, it depends. Like I made a joke earlier, you could say about that spot where Lavia was in. You flip a coin and say to Lavia and Reece James, whoever's fit plays. That's why I made that joke. So like, it's one of those ones where, because one thing about it is, because we've never had a proper injury-free season, like a hardcore like injury-free season where someone isn't out for like 4 or 5 months. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even remember.
Talk with your heart. Don't talk with your heart. Talk with your brain. Get rid of him. Get someone better in.
Well, I'm open to listening to both points of view, because ultimately, like, I just want to hear everyone else's opinion, because that's why I said at the beginning of my point when I asked everybody, like, if this is the blueprint going forward and this is how the team's going to be with Neto, you know, Chalobah or whoever that I said then, because it was the same lineup against Liverpool, really.
Yeah, well,
if this is the blueprint forward, true say, I agree with what everyone said about, you know, you need that kind of like strength and depth if you're going to compete on all fronts. Yeah, fair enough. But if that means he's not starting all the time, how's the player going to take it? You know what I mean? Like, there's so many factors we're not taking into account yet, and we're not going to, because, like, I think JK said about 5 minutes ago, he said it all depends what happens in summer, and he's right.
Yeah,
because it's a watch. But the reason why I wanted to ask is because I'm not being funny. We've kind of, okay, we all like him as Chelsea fans or even as football fans, but let's be honest, if this guy's never fit and he never plays, we kind of have to get on without him. You know what I mean? Like, and it's kind of like, this is a possibility. I don't necessarily want it. Like, you know what I mean? It's a possibility.
We need to move on.
Hang on.
Someone's going to be ready all the time.
Oh, bloody LTT, you're a last minute man. We're just about to. I've got a goal now. Shish. Big up, T. You alright here? You good? Anything you want to drop in and say before we wrap up?
Yeah, and I think it's a good way. It's a good place to come in as well after listening to what you guys were saying. All I will say is Maresca out. If even if he was a Conference League, sack that bald-headed freak.
Oh shit!
Drops a bomb, shit. He comes in and drops a bomb.
Oh
He can't be drops a bomb. He leaves.
Yeah. Okay. Big up to TT for that.
Tyrone, why do you want him
Big
to
up deals, big up deals, big up deals, big up deals.
Big up to why do you want him gone?
Listen, man. A lot of these people are they're I'm not okay. I'm gonna respect the space. I'm not gonna use what I was gonna say all ago, but I'll just simply quickly say this. A lot of people are disillusionized by the little wonderful form that have taken place for the last 3 matches in the league and all of that. But I'm not. I see through it, and I said this even yesterday, and people attacked me for it, and I generally don't care. The fact is, if you wanna criticize Pochettino for how he utilized Enzo Fernandez, give him plaudits for how Enzo Fernandez is playing now, because him playing him as the quote-unquote number 10 or as an advanced midfielder has allowed Maresca to benefit from that. And the way that they play, that is prime Pochettino ball, the quick movement of the ball. That's not how Maresca plays. So if at the end of the day, people are going to say that, oh, he's doing this and or he's found a way to turn around, then they're idiots. Because at the end of the day, all he's proven is that he recognized that the way that he's playing, it definitely stifles the team. And if Wolfie didn't tell me what he told me, I would not have known about that statistic about the high percentage. And I even did my research and realized that one of the biggest reasons for why Leicester City struggled last season in the championship was how obsessed he was with the high possession and having the ball and dictating the play and dictating the game. And they lost when they dominated the game and had 76% possession and all of that, and had multiple shots, having a high XG and all of that. For
36 shots at home, brother, and we didn't win the game. 36.
Yeah. So if that is the case, then you know that there's a problem with the manager. And the fact that he had to come out and say, "Oh, I have no other way of playing," and this is a learning moment for me. I'm not saying this. Maresca said it with his own mouth. I have no other way of playing. This is a learning moment for me. He literally explained that he's an inexperienced manager, and all he's doing is making excuses. He's a big gaslighter, and anybody that supports him, I don't understand why they do. But as I said, even if he wins the Conference League, get the bald-headed bomb out of the club, because if that's the standard that you want at the club, Chelsea will never go back to where they are.
You bald-headed demon.
We both know, yeah, that if we get Champions League football, he's going nowhere. He's going nowhere if we get Champions League football. Let's be real.
Yeah, prepare for a bad season. Prepare for a bad season next season.
Look, I prepared for a bad season at the beginning of this one, and JPT knows I'm not lying because he was there when I said
Let me
it.
tell you this, Wolfie, let me tell you this. The reason why it's not really easy for people to see efficiently is because for some people, football is just one-dimensional. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need to overthink to see the real issue. You know what I'm saying?
The
Before it
details.
even happens. And this is what Tyrone's done. I actually agree with him. I understand why. You know what I'm saying? He wants him out.
TT gets his facts from me, bro. What are you talking about? No, I'm joking.
No, but like Wolfie, like for real. Like this possession football.
JK, do you remember when we was in for Enrique and Noble's room, yeah? And these lot were bigging up Pochettino at the time, bro. Yeah? These lot were bigging up Pochettino. Bro, that's another thing as well, bro.
But then Deals, if you look at the last two games, Fulham and Liverpool, I've realized, even Tyre said it, but even I've realized that does not look like Maresca football. I'm sorry. You think Maresca would like to sit back like that? You think? I think he's probably changed it in a sense because he knew himself that this possession football is not going to win us games. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to win. I'm telling you.
Right. One of the reasons
Sunday though looked really good. The counter attack looked really, really good though.
Yeah, but one of the reasons
is prime Pochettino football.
That's the thing.
For Man City 1-1.
Wait. But the thing is, the reason why all of us end up scratching our heads over Enzo is look, to be honest, his management style is kind of like how our club is right now. Sometimes he gets things right, sometimes he gets things wrong. The problem I have with Enzo Maresca is his mentality. And what I mean by that is
that as well.
We all like to talk about that, and I think when Deal said it the best when he said it about 2 months ago, when he said when the board took over the club, they did due diligence, and what he meant by that was the culture of the club. Now, for me, Enzo Maresca goes against the culture of the club because, and I think JK alluded this to himself as well, when they are killing ambition, we're not going to be in title race. We're not going to be like in aiming for the Champions League football. It's not an expectation. Sanchez is a hero. We hear things like that, and we're just like, hang on a minute. Because as a club, that's not who we are. We're always looking to be at a higher level, right? Regardless, even. And the thing is, a lot of people say, "Oh, but you were nothing before Abramovich." You name me one fucking club in history that's rebuilt their bones twice. And before anyone says, "Oh, but Chelsea didn't earn no bones," yes, we did, because we won the Cup Winners' Cup before we won the Champions League, and we won every other domestic trophy after we won the league the first time, and before that,
And we won
You were
stuff
never come on the huddle.
and we won stuff with Gillett as our manager, and
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of people. Oh, but you did nothing before Abramovich. Fuck off.
Vialli as our
We
manager.
did. You were never come.
Vialli is our
You were
manager
never
as
come on the
well.
huddle, and you were never on the huddle. They're two
But,
good welcome.
but hang on, because I'm not going to go do a section on it because I need to end the stream because I want to go spend some time with Kate. But one thing I will say, and I was going to get into a long conversation, but I'm not going to do it now. With the Europa League Conference final, this isn't an opportunity for literally Chelsea to complete football. Because if we win that trophy, there's not a single trophy available to us that we haven't won.
You get the Grand Slam.
We done thank you, Stepsy, the fucking Grand Slam. Now I know to some people, and now I know to some people that might seem stupid, but I'm not being funny. To say that you've won at every level, regardless, Championship, Premier League, Europa League, Conference League, like, you know what I mean? To say there's not a single trophy you haven't won, and there's not a single club on the planet that can say that. By the way,
I was going to say, not many teams can say that.
No,
Arsenal.
we'd be the only team in existence to have do the Grand Slam of football, bro.
Arsenal can't say that. Arsenal can't say that. Neither can
Real Madrid and Barcelona can't say that.
No.
Facts. This is
maybe because their teams
if we're
are so good.
going to talk about actual culture of football, yeah, let's talk about how Chelsea. Now, a lot of people said, more recently that the team now reminds them of 90s Chelsea. And I was like, I fucking hope so. And people were like, why is that? I said, because that's when we were building up. That's when we stopped being the old Chelsea pensioners and we started getting more of a European flow with the Viallis, the Hullits, the flows. That's when we became a more mixed up side, if you like. And we went from strength to strength. And that's why because look, we didn't get Champions League football because of Abramovich. He bought us because we had Champions League football. The season before that season, we were 3 points away from winning the Premier League. We were unlucky for Ranieri.
Yeah,
we were unlucky.
Wolfie, is it true that he was going to go by Tottenham instead? Was that true?
He was.
He was on. Yeah, he had talks with Tottenham, but then Chelsea. Then he had talks with Chelsea, and they were looking to buy because Bates was in over his head. And he thought, well, there's a big opportunity here.
He was going to buy Spurs, and then he was on his helicopter. He flew over the bridge and said, "I want Chelsea."
Yeah,
I thought Tottenham were umming about selling, but they were going to sell. But then Chelsea were so in debt with Bates. Bates is
no, it's not because of that. Not because of that. He wanted Spurs. It's not that he wanted Spurs, but because he was on his helicopter. That's the story. He flew over the bridge and he saw the bridge. He saw Chelsea. And he was like, "That's all."
And then Bates was in over his head, and they got hold of Abramovich and said, "Go plus out."
All right. Well, look.
You know more about than I do, JP. I'll just tell what I heard. That's all.
But either way, right? With that,
I don't care how came
about. I want to ask everybody because I'm going to keep this brief. So one sentence from everybody. Right, and I'm going to start off with JPT because obviously he hasn't spoken. Bless him in a bit. Right, JPT, getting the Grand Slam of football, the only club in existence. How does that sound to you, bro?
Yeah, you know me, man. If we're in a tournament, in any cup competition, go and win it. That's how anything should be. Also, too, not only that, but I think the real set will be complete if we win this. Then the new Club World Cup, because I think the what was considered the Club World Cup changed to the Intercontinental Cup. I have no idea, but apparently this is another thing we need to win to really.
No. There's just an evolution, bro. No offense, yeah. We won the first division, we won the Premier League, we've won both eras. Eventually, we can go look to win it, but realistically, we all know it's the Club World Championship. They just expanded it to make more money.
Yeah,
we all know that. We all know that, bro. Come on, we all know.
It's a whole different trophy from what I've seen.
Bro, we haven't been in the Champions League for the last 2 years, but somehow we're still in it. Don't ask me. Bro, it's a money maker.
Of course it is.
Apparently, they've done it as anyone's won something domestically or Europeanly in 5 years. So you've won it in 5 years. Chelsea, Man City won it a couple of years ago. Real Madrid won something. Barcelona won something. Bayern have.
It's
So
not.
it's
It's not.
just
It's
they
not
want
just
to
that
do
though,
anything
because
over 5 years.
PSG is in it too. PSG is in it too, and they've not won. They've not won, and
The
they
Champions
haven't won
League,
anything in Europe.
exactly, TT. You tell them.
There's
But right,
there's certain regulations and certain things that why PSG in it. There's certain degrees. I don't know
right.
what the
Money making.
I don't know what the is.
Regardless of how you chop it, it's just money making, bro. Because they want all
But
the big
not
tips. I don't see Bolton getting an invite.
But
You know what I mean?
You guys, the prize money is one.
Barcelona is not in it either. Barcelona is not in it. So that's why I'm thinking that Chelsea have a chance of winning it. It's not likely, but they have a chance because Barcelona is not in it. Real Madrid is in it, but Real Madrid has fallen off.
Well, hang on.
No,
Well, hang on.
Barcelona are not in it.
They're in the
hang
top
on.
option because they are.
Wait, stop, because we're going off
Barcelona
topic
is in
again.
it.
All right, don't worry about it. We're going off topic again, and I'm not gonna. And I want to go spend time on my music. So
Yeah,
let me finish asking everybody the question. I've asked JPT the question about the Grand Slam of football. Now I'm going to ask JK. JK, what do you think about saying Chelsea the only club in existence with the Grand Slam of football, bro?
You know what?
You
It's
know?
a good feeling, but then also, if I'm gonna play devil's advocate, I can say the top teams, maybe they're just that good that they don't have the chance to play that competition. That's another thing. You know what I'm saying? But either ways, you know what? I will celebrate it. You know what I'm saying? The aim of the game is to win. That's just it. Simple. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Deal?
Listen, you know what I'm gonna say. We expected to win this trophy. We're the favourites for a reason. You know what I mean? This is what we do. Yeah, we win European
That's
trophies.
what we
Yeah,
do. You tell them, Deal.
we win European trophies. This is what we do. We should be known to this. Yeah.
Of course. I fully agree with that. TT?
But Real Betis isn't
Well,
easy. I'm just saying. I'm kind of worried for that final. But go on.
yeah.
Another
mm,
time. Cover that
I'm not
another time.
worried. I think we beat them
mm.
comfortably. Real Betis are not a problem like that.
I wouldn't say comfortably. We will
I don't
beat
rate them.
them,
I
but
don't
I
rate
think it will
them.
be comfortable.
Yep, two
Um,
things. Chelsea winning all that would definitely be a great achievement. Thank you very much. Totally agree with you. Go on, TT.
Yeah, of course.
yeah, okay, fine. We've won everything else, but I think similar to what JK just said. I agree that maybe that should not be a flex. Winning a third tier competition in Europe that was made for only making more money and for more publicity. Really? Nah, but as I said before, it'd be lovely. But Maresca basically just looked on social media and just said, "Oh, a lot of the fans have been saying that it'd be good if we win it because we'll be the first club to ever do to win all of that." Hold on, but hold on, wait. As I said, win it or don't win it, because I'm gonna just simply say this right now. I've been saying this for now. I don't see Chelsea win the Conference League. People are underestimating Real Betis. I get it. Real Betis is not a fancy name, but they
That's a
were
good team.
I think they were like the third option of the person. People were talking about Fiorentina and they expect to face Fiorentina in the finals. Fiorentina almost came back, but I think Real Betis will be a difficult match. They have a manager that knows how to be possessive. He knows how to be adaptive. So I mean, as Isco said, one of their players from Real Madrid as well said that they've been able to compete with not only Real Madrid but with Barcelona, albeit they lost 5-1 to Barcelona in the Copa del Rey. But they've Barcelona did not defeat them this season. So they're a team that know how to get the better of teams that want to play front football or quick movement football as we've seen from Chelsea in recent times. So I'm not gonna count them out, and I generally think that Real Betis will win the Conference League.
I think
Prime?
we'll win it though. But yeah,
I think we
but
win
it
it.
just won't be easy.
I think we win it about. I think we just win it. I think we win it just about, son. I think we win comfortably.
Alright,
By the way,
Prime.
he will. You know what? You know what he's
Oh,
gonna settle
Prime.
for.
Let me,
And
let,
Wolfie, you know what he's gonna settle for in the final? He's gonna play all our main players in that final, bro. That's what you're gonna play. That's what you're rely on.
we'd
You know
expect
what I
so.
mean? Huh?
You might expect so, but it all depends, innit? We'll see what happens. Prime. Do you want to have your take on it, bro? What would the Grand Slam of football mean to you?
I don't know what Grand Slam means, to be fair.
Winning all the trophies available.
in every European trophy.
Oh yeah, this whole thing of like, if you're a big club, you shouldn't be in these lesser competitions. Yes, I agree. However, when you're a big club, you win all the trophies that you can possible, regardless of what's going on. I don't get this thing where people like laugh about us being in the Conference League. You can only laugh at us being in the Conference League if we don't win it. If we lose the final, then people can laugh. But if we win it, rivals don't have a right to laugh.
I'm gonna say something controversial.
Nor do Chelsea fans have a right to downplay it either. It's our first trophy under a new ownership, and hopefully, actually winning something can start to spark some sort of a mentality, not just amongst the players, but also amongst our ownership, and actually start to take us more seriously going forward. Because we look at Arsenal, how they've been downplaying all these domestic trophies and they downplaying Europa. That's why they can't win a league title in 3 attempts, and that's why they got battered in a Champions League semi-final against a PSG side that don't have a recognized striker. You take every competition seriously, so that's why this Conference League is important for us.
Yeah, you need to win it.
And hopefully now going forward next season, not only will that help some of our younger players, particularly our key players. Hopefully that could actually change something within our club. We get a taste of winning, even though it's conference. We can get a taste of winning something, and that can push us on next season to maybe try and do more. Next season, go win. Not saying win the league, but go win a domestic trophy again, because our record in Wembley is awful. And just downplaying it, I don't agree with that at all. We're not Arsenal or Man United, where our record in lesser competitions is poor. Shouldn't be. Our record in Europa League is immaculate for a reason. 2 times we've been in it, we've won it twice. That's what you do as a big club. When you're in Europa as a big club, just go win it regardless, get it done. When you're in a Conference League, just win it and get it done. No matter how it looks, I don't care how it looks on the eye, if it looks pretty or ugly. You just get it done because we're supposed to get it done.
No, I hear you, Frank. I hear you, bro.
Hey, Morphy, what I was going to say is, if we don't, imagine if we don't win the Conference League and we don't get top 5, this manager's got to go at the end of the season with the directors. It's got to happen. There's no way
it's not going to happen, so no point dreaming.
No, bro.
It is right. If we don't win Conference League, Maresca has to walk. He has to walk if we don't win Conference League. But even if we do win Conference League,
what you're telling me? Tottenham and Man United.
These sporting directors, for me, they have to go regardless of what happens. Now until the end of the season, they have to go. And once they leave, the new guy can sack Maresca or keep Maresca. Because like I keep saying to you guys, Maresca for me is not a problem. I don't care either way.
We know everyone's feelings bored in the directors of football, but that's not what I want to talk about today, because we talk about that all the time, and that's why I've tried to be more positive, because we have.
That's why I talk about it, because that's the problem for me. But sorry, Dills, continue.
What I was going to say on this one, is the fact that Man United or Tottenham could possibly get in Champions League football by winning Europa League, and they're sitting 16th or 15th in the league, right? Now, that is a sackable offence. If we don't get top 5 and we don't win this Conference League, Maresca's got to go. It's a disgrace for our football club, right? There's no way that Man United and Tottenham are going to be in the Champions League over us. Bro, that would be disgraceful. I know.
But that's something we will come to.
No, hold on a minute. You disgrace the European League because 2 teams are in it that are English. Yeah? Okay, they got their own merit. And you're saying, because it's this.
There's 6 clubs in it too.
It doesn't fucking matter. They got their own merit. So there's
6 clubs in it too.
Fuck off, that's bullshit. It's not going to be ours.
There's 6 clubs in it too.
I get what Sepsi's saying.
Chill out, chill out, bro. Relax.
Fucking merit. They haven't wanted to be there. The 16 for fucking League 4. Doesn't make
I
a
know
fucking
that.
difference.
I don't respect you. Chill out. Chill out.
Fucking helmet.
I hear you because they
What's
played
going
well
on?
last season. They're there this season. It's just
What's the point being made?
No. That's all
Well,
I'm saying is
I don't know
is Man
what's going
United
on.
better than my squad?
beat them.
Is Man United better than my squad? No, they're not. They're Tottenham, bro.
Wait, what's the point being made?
No one's making the point. It's definitely just
I
saying
don't know, man.
Man
Like,
United earn their position. That's all it is.
Okay, so yeah, so that's so he's saying that Man United and they what? Okay, what's the point that you're making, Trepsy?
I'm saying he's fucking having a go, saying, "Oh, it's a disgrace that Tottenham and Man United in European Cup final, and they get Champions League because they're 16th or 14th, wherever they are." Yeah, and then Massacre should be fired if they don't make top 5. What's the fucking difference? They're on merit. If they want to get to Champions League for European League, they can fucking do it, just like any other club.
Now the swearing bit that's aggressive. You ain't got to be aggressive towards each other. Just be calm.
You're fucking talking
I don't know how that
also.
happened.
Everyone's been
Take it down a notch.
Okay, I understand. Okay, I understand his point. And Deals, your point is that Maresca should be sacked if United or Spurs win the Europa League.
And if we fail.
Hold on.
No,
Because
he
of-
fucking Tottenham Man United, does he?
I think you guys
Alright,
are
I heard.
misquoting this. In my
Hold on.
opinion.
So hold on.
I
So
think you
Deals is trying
guys
to
are
say.
misquoting this.
So no, but I'm asking Deals what he's saying. So Deals, is your point that Maresca should be sacked because of how poor United and Spurs have been, and they have a chance of being in?
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that based on our club. On our club, it looks a disgrace. The fact that we ain't getting Champions League football from the football side of things in the league, right? That's a sackable offense, bro. Sackable, bro. It's a sackable.
Circumstance. That's not.
You're performing well last season, isn't it? It's your fault, not theirs.
You can't tell me that's
Wait,
a
hold
sackable
on.
offense.
So
It's a
wait,
sackable
so
offense, bro.
it's a sackable offense if we don't finish in Champions League football this season. Is that what you
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's a
mean?
disgrace.
And Man United and Spurs have nothing to do with that. It's just based on us. That's what you mean, right?
No. They do because they've been shit in the league all season, bro.
Okay.
They done it last season. That's what they knew. They done it last season.
Shut
This
up,
goes on
bro.
last
Shut
season,
up.
not this season.
Shut up.